Still a very young, shy man, but Mikey Pender is once again a champion. But this is the man who is the champion of 2022, and that is Ben Meyer. It may not have gone right down to the wire as many expected, with difficulties for both Peter de Vos and for Christian Alman, but it has gone the way of Ben Meyer, who makes history, as you heard on the commentary feed, becoming the first man ever to win 3 Longines Global Champions Tour titles. And 2022 will go down in history as the year of Ben Meyer, finishing ahead of Peter de Vos in second place and Christian Alman in third. The night essentially belongs to young Mikey Pender, who wins a second Lgct Grand Prix title of 2022, still the youngest man to ever do so. The records continue to tumble here on GCTV this evening. So Mikey Pender goes on to win yet another Grand Prix, and Harry Smolders on Monaco guarantees himself a spot at the Lgct Super Grand Prix in Prague at the GC playoffs next month. So while we balance the success of Ben Meyer, the victory of young Mikey Pender, let's look back at the jump off and show you just how we got to the point tonight on the 15th and final stage of the Lgct Tour. Well, Jur Frieling, the first man out, and in fact the first man out in round 1, setting the pace, qualifying for the jump-off, and then becoming the first man out in the jump-off as well. Long John Silver jumping clear and eventually stopping the clock at 38.83. We know, always so difficult to be the first man out the gate, and you never quite know just how much meat is left on the bone. 38.83 was the time set by Long John Silver. Munaim Dani incredibly happy to see his Hamburg Giants man perform so well in the jump-off, and it gave Jur Frieling the provisional lead, knowing that Harry Smolders was the first, or the next man rather, to come out. But the two Dutchmen would have to go head-to-head to find out who then was going to go to Prague for the GC playoffs next month, with both, of course, Marlon Baard-Jonsson and Mikey Pender both having already secured their golden tickets. So one Dutchman followed another. Harry Smolders and Monaco coming out and trying to go on and better that time set by Jur Frieling of 38.83. The golden ticket lay between these two men. And Harry Smolders on Monaco, far more aggressive, far tighter on the rollbacks and on the turns, eyeing down that 38.83, getting better and better as the event went on, faster on the split time, and eventually going to go stop the clock at a very impressive 36.68. A huge improvement on the time of Jur Frieling. And Harry Smolders and Monaco moving into provisional first place, definitely going to Prague for the GC playoffs at the end of November, and having to wait for 2 more riders to find out if they would go on to win the Lgct Grand Prix of Riyadh. You can see what it meant to Harry Smolders, but there were still some very talented riders to come, both of which have already won Lgct titles in 2022. Out came Mikey Pender and HHS Calais. Now, described essentially as not the fastest of the horses in the jump-off, HHS Calais really rode out of his skin. 36.68 was the time to beat. And at just 23 years of age, this young, shy superstar is starting to get more and more spotlight on those ever-growing shoulders. HHS Calais and Mikey Pender stopping the clock at 35.78 seconds. 35.78 seconds. Look what it means to his compatriots. The excitement, the energy of Mikey Pender, who has already given praise, as so many riders do, but in particular in this jump-off to HHS Calais, describing HHS Calais as guiding him over the line, and Harry Smolders so close yet so far. Bertram Allen, Michael G. Duffy, incredibly excited with the performance. And there is about as much emotion as Mikey Pender will offer. A big fist pump, but still knowing that Marlon Baard-Jonsson was still to follow, because out had to come H&M Indiana, already clear in the Global Champions League earlier on in round 2, already an Lgct winner, and incredibly fast around this track in Riyadh. So fast, in fact, that she was comfortably clear ahead on the split time here. Take a look at the split as she came out incredibly comfortable, over a second clear. But unfortunately for Bayer Johnson, she was unable to keep all the fences up. And just that one fault, those 4 penalties, despite stopping the clock at 35.17, far faster than that of Michael Pender. 35.17. It was the fence that went down, the rail that fell, and the 4 penalties that followed. And there you see Michael Pender's Saint-Tropez Pirates teammate Daniel Deusser celebrating with him. And Malin Bayer Johnson, already a winner this year on the Lgct stage, already at the GC playoffs in Prague in the Super Grand Prix. She was unable to get over the line, supported by her compatriot and her GCL teammate Peter Fredriksson, who surprisingly has now gone the entire season without an Lgct victory. We will not see Peter Fredriksson at the Super Grand Prix. But here is a reminder of how things have played out in Riyadh this afternoon. Michael Pender in first place, ahead of Harry Smolders in second, Jur Freeling in third, and Malin Bayer Johnson on H&M Indiana going on to finish in fourth place. But you will not see Peter de Vos on that list. You will not see Christian Aumann on that list. And because of that, the big headline of the day is that Ben Meyer went on to be crowned champion of the 2022 Lgct Grand Prix year. Here now is the completed list of the riders that have qualified for the Lgct Super Grand Prix in Prague. The biggest names in the game of Henrik van Ackerman, last year's Super Grand Prix champion. Daniel Deusser, of course, a multi-Lgct champion. Christian Aumann looking to try and now win the big Super Grand Prix in Prague. Malon Zanotelli, Max Kuna, Peter de Vos missing out on the overall title, and Mikey Pender already there, despite going on to finish in second place today. Harry Smolders, Shane Sweetnam, and Christian Kukuk. Live images from Riyadh as Mikey Pender, your champion this evening, walks out to a standing ovation from the Riyadh crowd as we go down into the Riyadh ring and await our winners' celebration and our podium finish for Michael Pender, Harry Smolders, and Jur Freeling.
Taking second place tonight and the
big stride.
ticket to Prague to the Longines Global Champions to a Super Grand Prix.
Over the ground, floating as if on clouds, as if on a Persian rug, as if on a magical carpet. Second, Smolders, and third, Freeling. When is this man going to step up?
The very first rider
Well,
of the ring tonight.
there's nothing wrong with collecting third places in a Grand Prix.
And Jur Freeling on the podium here in the Arabian Peninsula once again this 2022
Third
season.
at the start of the season, Freeling. Third at the end of the season. That's called consistency. And that is what has taken Freeling
Well, ladies and gentlemen, now
to
with our winner
top 5
spinning on
now
parade wheels
in the
in these
Lgct
drives,
Championship.
we will honour our winner and his
A massive
nation with
congratulations for
playing
that
of
performance to the
Michael
entire
Pender
SF
and
equestrian
to
team.
us.
But a massive congratulations to Bravo Hughes, owners of HHS Calais, and especially to the Irishman Michael Pender for winning this Grand Prix. Ireland on top. Ireland on top of this Grand Prix. And isn't that surprising or remarkable that Michael Pender is the only Irish winner of a Grand Prix this season? Have to take into account that Dennis Lynch is going to Prague for the Super Grand Prix as he finished second behind Ludger Beerbaum in Mexico City at stage 3 of this 15-stage season. And with that second place, Lynch is going to the Super Grand Prix. Pender with another Longines watch.
New Ultra-Chron model with us here at Longines Global Champions Tour Riyadh.
Model,
and now,
a sports
to present the winner's
watch
trophy to Michael Pender with
Michael
HHS
Pender,
Calais,
man who is
His
never
Royal
late.
Highness Prince Abdulaziz bin Turki Al Faisal, Minister of Sport.
It is now His Royal Highness Prince Abdulaziz bin Turki Al Faisal, the Minister of Sport, with the trophy for Michael Pender. A little bit of despair there in the eyes of Harry Smulders. Beaten by a man nearly half his age. 23 versus 43.
We'll get the silver trophy for His Royal Highness now, and we'll step forward and congratulate our new golden ticket holder for Prague, Monaco NOP and Dutch Olympian Harry Smulders. Harry, a former world #1 and former Longines Global Champions.
Harry Smulders comes second again, just like in Saint-Tropez when beaten by Marlin by Gerard Johnson. Now it was not Indiana, it was Calais that beat this superstar pair of Harry Smulders and Monaco NOP.
I'm glad to hear it. He's a great man. Dutch Olympian, you're reading Long John Silver.
إذا المركز الثالث يتوج الآن يور فريلينغ. ألف مبروك.
Jur Vrieling, once again third. The man from Groningen, the Netherlands, where the wind never settles. Scores his third place in an Lgct Grand Prix for the 5th time on the podium, but at the lowest step.
Party will now return here, and then we will be free to release our 3 riders for a very, very richly deserved lap of honour led by your winner here in Riyadh, Mikey Pender.
Here we go, ladies and gentlemen, the victory gallop, the last victory gallop of a regular Grand Prix this season. 2022 is nearly done. It's Michael Pender with HHS Calais. How about that? How does he do that? How does he make that horse so fast? Michael Pender with Calais. Is on top of the world, has beaten the elite once again. The show jumping elite. And be sure that in Prague, Pender will be ready.
The winner's lap and the celebrations continuing under the Riyadh night sky as our top 3 finishers from the 15th and final Lgct Grand Prix of the year in Riyadh come to a close, with Michael Pender victorious once again, the 23-year-old, now the youngest man ever to have 2 Lgct titles under his belt. What a 2022 season it has been for Michael Pender, and he still has the opportunity to go to the GC playoffs in Prague next month and maybe steal the entire show and win the Super Grand Prix as well. He will have some hefty opposition, but based on what Mikey Pender has done this season, perhaps it would not be wise to write the young man off. Let's show you the head-to-head and remind you just how exactly Michael Pender and HHS Calais was able to go faster than Harry Smulders and Monaco. Michael Pender on the left on HHS Calais, Harry Smulders on the right in Monaco. At this point here, it's Michael Pender that actually gets to the fence first. Tighter from Pender again, getting over the fence before Harry Smulders once more. Now they open up. Monaco slightly slower once again. Harry Smulders behind the pace in that double combination. Mikey Pender tighter on the rollback again, far more aggressive. This is where he starts to pick up time. Does the rollback to the right, gets the Longines fence first. And now in the final line, it's a shootout, it's a full-on gallop. And Mikey Pender, comfortable, in fact, going on to beat Harry Smulders. Many people expecting Monaco or H&M Indiana to go on to be the fastest, but at 0.9 seconds, 9/10 of a second, almost a full second faster, was Mikey Pender on HHS Calais to go on and win his Grand Prix. But that now, of course, is not the end of the story of tonight, because there is an additional story, and arguably, with all due respect to Mikey Pender and the Riyadh Podium, an even bigger story, and that is a seasonal story, a seasonal champion being crowned for the third time. Once again, Ben Mayer rising to the top to go on and lift the overall Lgct title. But it was an intriguing afternoon that saw Pieter de Vos and Christian Allman wedged around Ben Mayer, and it waged completely on the performances of Pieter de Vos and Christian Allman. De Vos was the first man out, and that combination that proved to be so tricky. That triple combination, seeing a fence go down, and Pieter de Vos approaching the final Liverpool, and another going down, taking him to 8 penalties. And you got the impression that at 8 penalties, it was already going to be a step too far for Pieter de Vos. Disappointment for him. Now we then wait to see what happens with Ben Mayer and Christian Allman, who are on the second half of the table. A break to come after Pieter de Vos, and then we were waiting to see how Ben Mayer and Christian Allman was going to do. Let's hear from Ben Mayer, your champion.
Ben, you've just made history, the first person to ever win 3 Lgct championships. Tell us what that means to you.
It's been an incredible year. Faltic's been an amazing horse. He's the first year he come on to this kind of level, and unfortunately we didn't win a Grand Prix this year, but unbelievably consistent with many top placings, and he's really done a good job to help his teammate Explosion, which he only made 1 appearance this year, but it still helped us to win the title.
The horsepower you were fighting against in this championship was just on another level this year. Does that make it even more satisfying, this win?
Yeah, absolutely. It's pretty stressful here this weekend. It's an amazing show, my first time to be in Riyadh, and I think it was great sport. But all the best horses and riders in the world here, and for sure Christian and Pieter, they really pushed it all the way till the end, and fortunately things just went my way today.
As you said, you've taken home the most prize money this season, even without winning a Grand Prix. How did you think that was possible?
I don't think it's ever been done before, but like I said, it's consistency. My horses have been incredible for me all season. We've just not quite got the job finished. Again here this evening, a small mistake, but I couldn't be prouder of my team. I have a new team helping me behind the scenes. Everyone is a big part of that, and the owners of Oakenham Stud and Charlotte Rossiter with Explosion. Without them, I couldn't be able to do any of this.
You are our 2022 season champion. Congratulations.
Thank you.
It will take a very long time to wipe that smile off the face of Ben Mayer, our 2022 Lgct overall season champion, and doing it for a 3rd time, in fact. So we will hopefully hear from Ben again in a few moments' time, and we will look back at his round and that of Christian Allman. But as we showed you the 8 penalties of Pieter de Vos, GCTV caught up with him to find out exactly what happened.
Yeah, what happened? The sport. Okay, of course I'm very disappointed because I came here for a better result, of course, but must also be a bit realistic, and my horse jumped really a very tough season, and she gave always everything. And also the round, the qualification round was already a very big round, and it was very hot here, and I feel she gets a little bit tired, and that's also what I felt in the Grand Prix already in the warm-up. She didn't felt like she used to feel, you know. Normally she's more fresh and she jumps easier to the other side. And now I felt she was a bit tired, probably because she has been jumping so much, and it's disappointing, but it's normal. I mean, if the horses have to jump so much and you can't get them always on the top. We tried to be there, but fortunately today was not our day. But I'm very happy and satisfied about my season. She did a fantastic job, my horse, and I can't blame her. She even now with the 2-4, she tried everything to cover and to be clear, but unfortunately physically she didn't feel having the power to do it. So I'm very happy about her mentality that she still fights till the end with me.
So perhaps a very long season starting to take its toll on Moms Dupi de la Roque, falling agonizingly short of the Lgct title that goes to this man, Ben Mayer, as Ben Mayer Peter de Vos and Christian Allman make their way into the middle of the Riyadh arena as we stand by and await for the winners' ceremony. As we saw in the Global Champions League earlier on today, there will be stage winners and season winners, and once again on the Lgct stage, we have now seen our stage winners in Michael Pender, Harry Smolders and Jur Frieling, but now it is time for our seasonal winners, and Ben Mayer with his winner's sash and his leading armband gets ready, overlooked by Jan Tops, the president and founder of the Longines Global Champions Tour, and of course the dignitaries in Riyadh. Let's go to the winners' ceremony.
Again, it was the horse and rider combination we saw take victory this season in London. That was
Dominator, bred by Stud 2000. And Mons Stupide La Roque, owned by himself and his mates at mares of Matcha. Mons Stupide La Roque by Canam and Nabab de Rêve, bred by the EURL Top Stallion Company in France, a French bred. Really leveled herself with the best horses in the history of the tour. 5 double clears she jumped, but it was just not enough to push this man off the top step of the podium. And so it is Ben Mayer who wins his third, historical third, Longines Global Champions Tour title. Now we listen to the national anthem of Great Britain in the honor of the 2022 champion, Ben Mayer.
إذن السلام الملكي لبريطانيا.
God save the king.
Congratulations,
and the
Ben
king is Ben Mayer, the king of the Longines Global Champions Tour, the emperor, if you will. It is His Royal Highness, His Royal Highness Prince Abdulaziz bin Turki Al Faisal, the Minister of Sport, who presents the trophy to Christian Allman. For Allman, there is a bittersweet emotion. He was 4th in 2017, he was 3rd in 2016, he was 5th in 2015, he was 2nd behind Scott Bresch in 2013, he was 4th again in 2012. For the 6th time he finishes inside the top 4 but misses out on the holy grail of show jumping, winning the Longines Global Champions Tour. Is he going to get another shot as clear as this one? Obviously, surely, with his horsepower and with his talent, he will be back, but it will not be easy. As horses grow older, riders do too, and new talents like Michael Pender come to the surface. Christian Allman is without a doubt one of the most consistent riders, most underdecorated riders on the Longines Global Champions Tour. That is very fair to say if you look at those top 5 finishes of Allman. De Vos, 2nd again, behind Mayer, just like in 2019. There is no shame in being beaten by a man who rides history. There is no shame in being beaten by an Olympic champion. There is no shame in coming 2nd behind Ben Mayer. Often great champions meet even greater champions on their track that put them in the shadow, and that is, one way or the other, what Ben Mayer is doing to Peter de Vos over those years in the Longines Global Champions Tour. But a worthy 2nd is Peter de Vos. There they all stand together. It is Patrick Aoun, brand manager of Longines in the Middle East, His Highness Prince Abdulaziz bin Turki Faisal, Minister of Sport, Jan Tops in the middle of them, and of course the President of the Saudi Arabian Equestrian Federation, His Highness Prince Abdullah bin Fahad Al Saud. And you will not be able to wipe the smile off that face for days. I can guarantee you that. it will be a very warm and happy welcoming back to the stables in Great Britain when Ben Meer and Faltic HB return as history makers, as record holders, as the only pair, as the only rider who has ever won the series 3 times. And he nearly did it 3 times in a row. Remember last year when he also went head-to-head with Peter Fredriksson in Chamorim. It was also down to the last Grand Prix when Meer could still overtake Peter Fredriksson, but Meer then, with explosion, came short and had to leave it to Peter Fredriksson.
There is the winners' podium, the final shot of the year of Peter Vos, Ben Meer and Christian Alman on top of the podium with their winners' trophies, their first, second and third place. Now, we showed you Peter Vos's round and just how the difficulty he experienced with Momstupi de la Roque. So let's go through the rest of those final 3 riders and show you how, in order of appearance, Ben Meer, who then followed, did in the ring. Well, Ben Meer coming out today on Faltic HB. Superb performance in the Global Champions League to get him to qualify for the Grand Prix. And now he enters into that very tricky triple combination. But Ben Meer and Faltic HB get out of the triple. Many people here expecting a clear from Ben Meer. It looked and felt like it was going to be a clear round. But then ever so slightly, right towards the back end of the round, that fence goes down, and with just 2 more to jump, agonizingly, Ben Meer fails to get into the jump-off. Now, at this particular time, this looked to be a potential problem for Ben Meer. You can see the frustration on his face. But by the time Ben Meer had come out, Peter de Vos had moved beyond 12th spot, and that had removed him from contention. That meant that it was down to Ben Meer and Christian Alman for the Lgct title. Overlooked by Christian Alman, he knew that he had to go clear and get onto the podium. So Ben Meer under pressure at this point after failing to qualify for the jump-off, but then Christian Alman coming in very next into the ring, needed to jump clear and needed to get into the jump-off. And unfortunately for him in the triple combination, a fence going down, a second fence going down. And with those 8 penalties, Ben Meer being crowned the champion without even needing to get into a jump-off, without anybody needing to pull out a calculator. Peter de Vos falling out of contention, Christian Alman falling out of contention, and there the smile on the face of Ben Meer arrived. And we then realize exactly when and who our 2022 champion was going to be, as Ben Meer, following those penalties and faults from Christian Alman, was crowned our winner. Let's bring up the overall table and show you just how tight it was and how things ended at the end of the day. As you mentioned, Ben Meer ahead of Peter de Vos and Christian Alman. Marlon Bjerre-Johnsen getting into the jump-off again this evening after having won already on the Lgct stage this year. Finishes in a top 4 place. Geert Vrieling, a fantastic year for him as well. And even Daniel Duyser, surprising many, putting in together some really strong performances to finish inside the top 6. Derek Kenny and Malo Zanotelli coming into the top 8. Here is the winner's lap of honor. Ben Meer, followed by Peter de Vos and Christian Alman, who will eventually fall back and allow Ben Meer one final lap all on his own to soak in the energy, to soak in the crowd, and to take in the moment of becoming crowned an Lgct champion once again. Let's take you back through some of the big moments of Ben Meer throughout the year. Our overall 2022 champion. Let's look back and praise Ben Meer.
Here comes Ben Meer on Faltic. Here comes Faltic with Ben Meer. Now the finish 34.62 to get level with Prix with a historical 12 victories on the Longines Global Champions Tour. Here is Ben Meer. It is slower in the end. He is 1 second slower. He lost that in that final gallop. Here comes Ben Meer. down to the last fence, down to the wire for a history-breaking win maybe. There comes Mir. Where does he find himself? He is 1.29 seconds slower than Marcus Eining.
But now to Ben Mayer. Now he's just got to fly towards the last. Ben Mayer, full-tick HB here in the Longines Global Champions Tour of Rome. Where does he stop the clock? 0.67 away. It's put him on the podium. He's gone into second. It is Ben Mayer.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the time where the two-time Lgct champion comes in. This is Ben Mayer. Oh, and the back wheel goes. Christian Alman has to go clear. Oh, and it's gone. And so we have a champion. And that champion is Ben Mayer, who has just written history in the Longines Global Champions Tour.
So there we see the winner, Ben Mayer, going on to celebrate a fantastic 2022 season and perhaps even a more spectacular night in Riyadh. Despite not going on to win the Grand Prix, not getting into the jump-off, enough was done over the season for him to be crowned your complete and overall 2022 Lgct champion here on GCTV. Let's take a quick break. When we return, some more.
Courageous,
organized, dedication, skillful,
artist,
modern,
genius,
perfection.
I train to get in the right state of mind.
I am Peder Fredriksson.
He has a lot of experience, a great rider.
Peder is really inspiring. He loves to share his knowledge.
When you win, you're celebrating together. If it goes badly, you share it with the team. I like it.
But it's not so easy.
He has a lot of skills.
Peder made the sport bigger in Sweden. The sport would be different if he wouldn't have been there.
Biggest moment with the most pressure, he can stay so calm and so focused.
And that is the answer. How could it be #1 in the world?
And this is pursuit of greatness.
The Enviro Green Blanket is made of non-toxic and recycled textile. It's breathable and gentle to my horse's skin. Very effective in isolating heat and regulating temperature. It's the perfect rug to support the well-being of my horse.
Lamisel. The future is green.
Shaped by emperors, authors, and artists, Prague is a city like no other. And the host of the 2022 Show Jumping Playoffs, a unique horse riding spectacle with the best riders of the season. Global Champions Prague Playoffs from the 17th to the 20th of November.
So the 17th to the 20th of November is the next major date that needs to be on your calendar as we get ready for the GC playoffs in Prague next month. And quite remarkably, your 2022 Lgct champion will not compete in the Super Grand Prix. Ben Mayer was unable to win a Grand Prix throughout the entire season, but collectively and steadily was able to pick up enough points to be crowned champion. A man who will be there in Prague competing for the Super Grand Prix is over my shoulder. Christian Alman standing by for us. Christian Alman, I feel very, very bad for any rider that comes up in such a tense situation. How are you feeling at the end of tonight?
I was quite disappointed after the Grand Prix, I must say, but after a while it changed. I'm thinking about the whole season, about many good rounds, 2 Grand Prix wins, and not only with Dominator, with the other horses as well. It was a 3rd place overall, what was really difficult. At the end, it was I was hoping for more, honestly, but now I'm happy with the 3rd place as well.
You make a very good point, because I'm sure it's heartbreaking to not get over the line today as the overall champion, but you have had an outstanding season, 2 LGCT victories, and we'll see you in the Super Grand Prix as well. Is that your next big target?
Yes, for sure. The season is not over. We have the important playoffs with the Shanghai Swans. We have a very strong team there, and also in the Super Grand Prix. I will be part of it. I'm really looking forward to this event for sure.
It'll be a busy week for you, Christian, because you're right, you will be competing for the Global Champions League as well with the Shanghai Swans. Have you already begun to plan what you will do then with your horses, with yourself? How will you be separating your attention?
Yeah, not 100%. For sure, we will try our best to have the strongest possible team for the team competition. It's also very important for us, and we want to do very well. We ended up 4th, and also in that case, I think we can do a little better, and that we want to try. And also for the Super Grand Prix, very important to have a second very good option. Yeah.
Maybe a word or two on Ben Mayer, the champion for 2022. What kind of competitor is he?
Yeah, first of all, big congratulations to Ben. He's a real champion. He won this competition already 3 times. He has nothing to prove anymore, and over the whole season, he collected the most points, so he's the well-deserved winner, and yeah, the one to beat in the next season.
Christian Allman, congratulations on an outstanding season. We look forward to seeing you at the GC playoffs in Prague later on next month. And as he pointed out, perhaps initial disappointment after not getting over the line as the overall champion. But upon reflection, looking back on the season, reminding himself of those LGCT victories, reminding himself of how well Dominator in particular jumped in 2022, and knowing that there is still a Super Grand Prix title to target, all of a sudden then the season of Christian Allman slowly starts to look incredibly impressive as he now gets ready to shift his attention towards the GC playoffs. And as he points out, it is going to be a very busy week, not only competing in the Global Champions League for the Shanghai Swans, but of course targeting that Super Grand Prix title as well as an individual and a winner on the LGCT stage earlier on this year. Strange and weird to feel as if the entire 2022 15-stage season has finally now come to a close. Difficult to try and comprehend how much has happened, how many emotions we've experienced over the last couple of months, going back to Doha at the start of the season, now down to this point at the end of the year. 15 stages, 15 golden tickets, and an incredible season to look back on. There'll be plenty of content to come on GCTV this week. Of course, we'll have the Insider to look back at the Global Champions League, and I look forward to seeing what Frederik de Backer will put together for the LGCT Grand Prix analysis at the end of the week. So there is a lot to look forward to and a lot to enjoy. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for being with us in Riyadh. Thank you for being with us this entire season. And stay with GCTV for more as we continue to preview and get ready for the Super Grand Prix in Prague. We will see you there from the 17th to the 20th of November. Good night.